What is up, everyone? How's it going? Today we are taking a look at Heroes Hour, a very neat little gem that I discovered recently. It's an indie game. It is a fast-paced, turn-based RPG strategy with real-time combat, and it is very unique, but also very similar to a game called Heroes of Might and Magic. I'm sure many of you that are older than the age of 10 to 15 have probably heard of that. It is a series that really redefined the strategy RPG genre and, had quite a number of games made. Some were just historic masterpieces. Others were just horrible. So this game tries to recreate that and take some ideas from it, and also has its own ideas and its own inventions. It's not just a straight copycat of that game, but it does draw a lot of inspiration from it. I find it very refreshing and very fun, and also nostalgic for some reason. Let's take a quick look at what you can do. There is no campaign right now, as you can see. There is no multiplayer right now. Those may be added in the future. Right now, there's just skirmish mode. When you start up a skirmish, you get to pick a map. You get to pick the size. What's unique is these maps are all different, right? Constellation, Duel, Isles of War. But the map layout is similar. What changes are the biomes, the locations of like points of interest, like what neutral mobs are roaming around, what neutral armies are there. That's all random, but like the map layout, like the skeleton of the map is the same, but what's in it is different. So it's kind of got a unique semi-random generation, which I find really interesting. You go to your factions, there are 12 unique factions, all with their own units, their own skills, perks, heroes, spells. Super cool, super cool. That alone is insane that there's that many. And each hero class, hero type, has its own skill tree. So when you play them, they do level up differently, and that is super neat. They all have their own skill tree, and they are all different. I think that just adds to the replay value and makes the game even more enjoyable with different builds and different things to offer. It's very, very interesting that they do that. When you get into the game, you get to build up your city, just like in the Heroes games. You get to pick the buildings, what structures go there, things like that upgrade your army, unlock more units, unlock more spells. Just things to make you more powerful, which is super cool. It gives you that feeling of progression and growth during the game. You will move around the map and collect resources. At the top there, you can see you have different resource types that are used in construction and production of units and buildings. You'll be able to hover over enemy units and see what they do, like how many there are and how challenging they are. So that way when you go fight them, you don't instantly get destroyed, but you can gauge the strength versus your current army. You have a deployment phase where you can set up where your units go. That's pretty cool. That can be important depending on later battles when you have bigger armies. I find it to be very useful. You have hero abilities that you can cast. The combat is automated. The hero has no control. You cannot control them other than tell them to use their abilities. Like I said, combat is automated, so you have no control over the units other than attack and defend command, where you can tell units to obviously attack or defend. When you win a battle, that's good and dandy because you get XP. Sometimes you get loot as well. Your hero will level up and you will be able to do more stuff in the skill tree, unlock different abilities, different little perks. Obviously, you don't level up after every battle. It's pretty neat. I find the combat refreshing and different. Now, that being said, the game does have a couple questionable things, a couple flaws, I guess you could say. The AI does cheat. It's very noticeable on higher difficulties, and it's pretty obvious, especially when you have them as like an ally and you literally just watch them cheat, which I know lots of strategy games do that, so it's not like this is a new thing or anything or something that's not been done before, but it's really bad when it's super noticeable and just kind of breaks the immersion, especially with no multiplayer, no other way to really play against other people other than local. But that's probably my only major gripe is the AI cheating. I mean, there's so much to it. There's so much difference in the factions, so much to do. The worlds are really neat. I love the art style. I love the way it looks. It is very interesting. It has a lot of good things going for it, and there's not too many bad things to say. Yeah, and with the game the way it is, $18. I feel like you could do a lot worse. A lot of strategy RPGs out there charge way more and offer way less content and way less depth and variety. and they just aren't worth it. So 18 bucks I think is a solid, fair asking point for this game. It does have the pixel art style, which could turn off quite a few people, but I find it charming. It's done well, unlike other games that kind of mess up the pixel art. You're able to tell units apart, factions apart from one another. So, you know, the pixel art's really good. I like it. I think the pixel art works. Now, as you know, I rate games on a 1 to 5 rating scale, 1 being avoid at all costs, 5 being a must buy. I'm going to give this game a 4. 4 basically meaning if you enjoy the genre and you want a good game, this is that. This is a great game, totally worth the price. Very few flaws, could only get better. Seems they're adding new content all the time. So if you did like the video, feel free to leave me a like down below and any questions or comments you have. Thanks for tuning in. See you later. Peace.